This is lesson 33, solving proportions. Today's objective is to solve proportions when we have a missing term. So, this is our example. 4 out of 27 is equal to 8 out of x. And our goal today is to solve for x, find the value. When we solve proportions with a missing value, there are several different ways that we can do so. I'm showing you the two most common ways to solve them, but there are always more ways to solve it. In the first example, you can determine if the ratios can be solved if the matching values that are shown can easily be multiplied to find the other missing value. Basically, we're looking to see if there is a common denominator or a common numerator that can be used. The other way that is very much used is the cross multiplication way. Now, number 2 is a method that you can use always to make it work in case a different way doesn't work. In this situation, you are cross multiplying the two opposite known values and divide by the leftover value to solve for the missing term. I know this sounds a little confusing right now, but we're going to do some practice problems and it will make more sense soon, I promise. Right now, I'd like for you to pause the video and copy this into your flipbook. All right, now that you've copied down the definitions, let's actually practice both of those methods. So again, our goal is to make these proportions equivalent to each other by solving for the missing value. In the first case, we want to see if we can figure out if there is a common denominator or common numerator. In this case, we have the two known values as being 14 and being 56. So our goal is to see, is there some way we can take the smaller value, multiply it to make the larger value? Well, again, you're allowed to use your calculator for this unit, but what number times 14 will make 56? That's right, 4 does. So if we multiply times 4, 14 times 4 will make 56. Therefore, 20 times 4 will make the value for x. So x will be equal to 80. That is one way that we could do it. The second method might be easier for some people to understand, and it will work every single time. In this case, we're going to look for opposite values that are given. In this case, it's 20 and 56. So we're using the opposite values that are given, and we're going to multiply those two numbers together. All right, do that with me. 56 times 20, and what will you get? That's right, you're going to get 1,120. Now we want to use the leftover term, which is 14, and we're going to divide it, the value we had before, by that number. So we're going to take 1,120 and we're going to divide it by 14, and x will give us 80 in this case. So we have 80 for the top, 80 for the bottom. Both methods gave us the same answer. Different ways to solve them. Each work. So our goal is that we get the value for x, knowing that it's correct. Okay, pause and copy this into your flipbook as well. Excellent. All right. Well, I'd like for you to continue practicing with me. We're looking at making these proportions equivalent to each other by using multiplying the known terms either through the denominators or the numerators, or by using cross multiplication and then division. So I'm going to show you how we can use both of these methods in this problem once again. All right, so here we have 3 over 13 is equal to m over 29. All right, I'm going to write it down here. The first way, I'm going to see if I can take my two denominator values and see if the smaller number of 13 can easily turn into the larger number of 39. I have found that it can if I multiply by 3. So if I multiply the bottom by 3, I have to multiply the top by 3. And therefore, m is equal to 9. All right, excellent. Now let's try it using cross multiplication. So 3 out of 13 is equal to m out of 39. I want to multiply my two opposite known values, 39 times 3. So 39 times 3 is equal to 117. And then we're going to divide by our leftover number, which is 13. Now, if it works, our answer will be the exact same as our other one. So let's divide 117 by 13. And when we do so, we find that m is equal to 9. Yay, it worked. Excellent. All right, let's try another way, another problem. Here we have 4 over 18 is equal to 3 over r. We're going to start with looking at the smaller denominator. Actually, I apologize. We're actually going to be looking at the smaller numerator because it's on top, 3. And can 3 easily become 4? Nope, it cannot easily become 4. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and skip the first way of solving it, and I'm going to go straight to cross multiplication. So I'm going to multiply the two opposite values, which are 3 and 18. And when I do that, I get the value of 54. Then I'm going to divide by the leftover value, which is 4. And if I divide by 4, I get an interesting number. I get 13.5. Now we can check to make sure that this is the right answer because none of our other numbers are decimal numbers, and this one appears to be a decimal. So how can we check to make sure that this is a correct value? If you remember from the other lesson yesterday, we learned that if they're proportional, they will be completely equivalent to each other. So I'm going to use cross multiplication using butterfly math, butterfly multiply, to check to see if they're equal to each other. So I'm going to take 13.5 and multiply it times 4. And I will get 54 on this side. And then I'm going to take 18 and multiply it by 3. So 18 times 3, and I get 54 over here. And 54 does equal 54. So yes, this is true. So I know that my value for r is correct, and these two ratios are indeed proportional to each other. All right, our last practice problem today is 7 out of 21 is equal to 5 over m. I'm going to solve it two different ways. In the first way I'm going to solve it, I notice that 7 over 21 can easily be simplified. So 7 out of 21 can easily be turned into 1 out of 3, and that's equal to 5 out of m. And 1 can be multiplied by 5 to make 5. So therefore 3 times 5 is equal to m. So this would be equal to 5 over 15. Okay, so 15 is what our m value is. In the other way, we can go ahead and look at whether cross multiplication is the easiest or if 5 can easily become 7. So, smaller number, can it easily become the larger number? No, I don't think it can. So we'll cross multiply. Let's multiply 21 times 5, and we're going to get 105. We're going to divide by the leftover number, which is 7. So if we divide these together, then we find that m is actually equal to 15. So in the first case, we simplified our first fraction, and then we could easily turn the one known number into a second known number, and then do the same thing for the other part of our ratio to get our value. Or in our second method, we multiplied our opposite numbers, 5 times 21, to get 105, and then divided that by the leftover number, which is 7. And we found out that m is equal to 15. So in both cases, we get m is equal to 15, and that's what we're looking for. For today's Your Turn page, I would like for you to copy these two proportions into your notebook on your page, and I would like for you to solve for the missing value and make sure to show all of your work. Thank you.